it recording? Okay, it's recording. I was like, is it recording? Hey everybody, welcome back. This is going to be episode 4. This episode is going to discuss your interview and the pretty much your interview process and after your interview process, which is this is the point after your online interview or your webcam interview or your phone interview, and then your required documents as well as your required process to go you have to go through after you've been offered a position. So we're just gonna get into it. I am on a layover. I'm in Charlotte. I just got back from off a red eye from Salt Lake City, and it was brutal. I had a lady ask me why she didn't have any cell phone reception. Yeah, that's the type of stuff we go through. But let's get into it. Once you receive your face-to-face interview, you'll be required to provide documents that you can, your required documents that you can work in the United States. And then also a valid passport is needed for some airlines for your face-to-face interview. When I did my face-to-face interviews, my passport was needed to even go to the interview. So whenever we checked in for the interview, they asked to see our passport off bat. So they may tell you in the application process, you can wait until your initial training to have your passport. No. If your passport is getting ready to expire, but you still have one that's valid for the interview, you can show them that and then let them know that you're in the process of having it renewed. But it does need to have a valid passport at the time. Some airlines that only go to Canada or in Mexico allow you to have a passport card, but you have to check with that individual carrier. But some do require a valid passport. For my non-U.S. citizens who are wondering if they can fly with a U.S. carrier, you do have to have a valid passport with a working visa that shows you are capable of working in the United States. Yeah, you may be doing international and stuff, but you still have to have a visa showing that you have the right to work within the United States. So that is one of the main things that are needed at the time of interview. Either your valid passport, your passport that's getting ready to expire within the next 90 days, that is in your renewal paperwork, or your passport card if the airline does allow a passport card. But most airlines require you to have your passport whenever you report to your face-to-face interview, or you'll be asked to leave. Some actually ask you for your passport number before you even are scheduled for your face-to-face interview. Whenever I got my face-to-face interview with the airline I'm with, they asked me my passport number and its expiration date. So just to know if I had a valid passport. Ways to get your passport: you can do expediting. There's companies that will expedite it themselves. I lost my previous passport, and so I had to have it expedited. I paid like $300 and something to have a new passport expedited within 3 business days. So I requested it on a Tuesday and got it by Thursday or Friday. So there's companies that will do that for you, but it's just a lot of money. So just make sure if this is something you want to do, to make sure your passport is in order. Sorry you guys, my hair is literally in my face. My braids are getting on my nerves. All right, let's see. A drug test is required. Not only a drug test is required for the airline, the drug tests are also required by DOT or Department of Transportation. You usually have, depending on your airline, 24 to 48 hours to complete your drug test after your contingency offer. So whenever I was offered a position to go to training, I had 48 hours to complete my urine test. If they let you know where you can go. I went to a Concerta. It was open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. You don't have to pay for anything. They give you your paperwork showing that it's a drug test for a company, the company pays for everything. You do your drug test, you'll end up doing 2. So make sure you drink lots of water before you go. So you can have enough bladder juice to produce a good sample, because after a while they'll let you retry once, and after a while you have to come back the next day, and so you don't want to get caught in limbo where you may be booted out and miss your cutoff date because you couldn't produce enough of a sample for your drug test. So once your drug test is complete, you just pretty much wait for further instructions. And when you pass your drug test, you'll pass your drug test, and then you usually, some airlines do require physical, but that is just depending on the airline. They do require a physical to make sure you're physically capable of doing the job. Some make you do, during your physical, they need to know if you can lift 50 pounds. They need to know if your health conditions are in the best possible shape to actually be a flight attendant. So those are some things that happen in the physical. They check your blood pressure, all that stuff that may be affected while you're in flight. Also, all airlines do a reach test and a jump seat test. So a reach test is just to make sure you can reach emergency equipment in the event of an emergency without your shoes on. So because 10 times out of 10 during an emergency, you're not going to have your heels on, you're going to have your flats on. And if you can't reach without heels, then they may remove you from consideration. Also, with your jump seat test, they need to make sure you can get in and out of the jump seat without any assistance. So whenever you sit down, you don't need a seatbelt extension, and whenever you need to get out, you need to be able to get out briskly. It can't be a struggle, or you can be removed from consideration. Let's see. And then the last thing is that you'll be required to do fingerprinting. This is something the DOT requires. It is pretty much a big chunk of your background check. So just make sure your background is, as long as everything is listed on that form whenever they do your background check. Like, I had tickets at one point in time. I put the tickets, they didn't pop up, but I put them because if they did pop up and I did not put them, I would get in trouble and would not have my job. But they pretty much, it's a fingerprinting scan to check your background to see if there's any issues in your background that can prevent you from doing the job, or prevent you from clearing customs and stuff like that. So that is pretty much what happens after your interview process, and what is required for you to continue in the interview process. This is episode 4, so the next episode is actually going to be about training and what you need for training. And if you have any questions, just feel free to email me or comment them below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow, and stay fly, guys. Bye. Thank you.